Skiing in Switzerland is definitely one of the big highlights during winter season. The Swiss Alps are full of fantastic ski resorts, each having its own unique assets and environment. Where to ski and which belong to some of the best resorts in Switzerland you will see in this video. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jemo and I'm a Switzerland travel expert. Now let's get started with the first ski resort, and that would be the Silvretta Arena at Samnaun, Ischgl. First, I'm going to take you to one of Switzerland's most isolated parts, to Samnaun. The Silvretta Arena is a binational ski resort shared by Switzerland and Austria. What I found really cool about the Silvretta Arena is that most of the slopes were above 2000 meters, which makes this ski resort definitely very snow-sure. I arrived there for the first time in February this year, and I was really impressed of how well the operators of this ski resort are making use of the space. And this I found was very noticeable both on the Swiss and on the Austrian side. So whenever I took a cable lift there, I mostly could choose among 3, if not even 4 slopes, and I found that diversity is just really great. Thus, although the ski resort may not be among the very largest ones, I found it offers you so many options. My favorite viewpoints were up on the Fideljoch, Greitspitze and Alp-3 Sattel. By the way, the cabin ride up to the latter peak is quite thrilling. It's really high up and I could even feel it when I was flying my drone. Now, what's really important, do not only limit yourself to the Swiss side, do also cross over to Austria by accessing Idalp, Höllboden and Höllkar. Once you're done with skiing, you may either end your day by taking the cabin lift down or to choose to ski out to the village of Samnaun. Talking about that one, the village is also quite worth to explore, found it really beautiful. By the way, Samnaun forms a language enclave within Switzerland, as the predominant language over there is neither Swiss German nor Romansch, but Tiroler German. Furthermore, really interesting is the fact that Samnaun is an entirely duty-free village, thus perfect for shopping. If you need to rent skis, then go to K2 Persport. You will have a large choice among skis, helmets, jackets and more winter sports equipment. And of course, you may also bring your skis for service. Number 2 is located in the canton of Valais, and that would be the Aletsch Arena. We're heading to another very snowshore ski resort, to the Aletsch Arena. Johannes and I, we started our trip with a perfect sunrise up on the Bettemhorn to be the first on the slopes. The Aletsch Arena does not only offer you great skiing, but also breathtaking panoramas. So, what I found really fascinating about the ski resort is that you will get to see the Matterhorn and Aletsch Glacier from various angles. The Aletsch Arena starts at 1900 meters and ends up on 2850 meters at the Eckison. There are in total 3 stations, Fiesch, Bettmeralp and Riederalp. Although that's not many stations, but in the Aletsch Arena you'll have plenty of slopes. Just telling you, Johannes and I, we really explored almost every corner, but we didn't manage to try all of them, because it's just too large. So you'll definitely not get bored up there anytime soon. The ski resort can be easily accessed by car, but what's even better, go there by train, because the train stops even directly at the cabin in Bettem. Very important to mention, skiing up there is very cheap, as it's going to cost you only 45 to 60 Swiss francs per day. Besides skiing, do also explore the village of Bettmeralp. By the way, that's one of Switzerland's most beautiful villages during winter. The sunsets up there are very nice, and do not forget to go for an après-ski party. The third resort is where I learned to ski, and that would be the Porte du Soleil. That's a ski resort that I definitely know the very best, as I've been there on an almost yearly basis since my childhood days. At Morgin, that's where I learned to ski. The Porte du Soleil is the second largest ski resort in the entire world. There are around 308 slopes and have a total length of over 600 kilometers. With such a great variety of tracks, it's very suitable for all age categories, beginners or pros. And that, by the way, that's my uncle Laurent, who is still joining me for skiing at the age of 80. Similar to the Silvretta Arena, it's a binational ski resort shared between Switzerland and France, though the larger part is on the French side. After having been skiing in there for more than 28 years, I would say the greatest advantages of the Porte du Soleil are the cheap prices, 71 Swiss francs a day, and that's for the entire resort, Switzerland and France. Or you can choose to go for less stations, and then of course also your ski pass is going to be cheaper. And then the large size of the resort with 12 major stations, and the fact that you can go for a ski safari. Yes, believe it or not, but in the Porte du Soleil, that's where you can go experience traveling and skiing at the same time. If you don't believe me, usually I start in Morgin, then I head over to Les Creusets, Avoriaz, Châtel and again back to Morgin. All of this in just one day. Perfect round trip. The Swiss side of the ski area is called Région du Midi, which regroups the resorts of Morgin, Champoussin and Champéry-les-Creusets. Very beautiful are the slopes in the forest at Bonavaux back to Morgin or down to Grand Paradis near Champéry. A very thrilling experience would be to try out the Swiss wall, the Mur Suisse at Chavanette, of which the locals claim it being the steepest slope in the entire world. And I actually did that slope for the first time at the age of 7. The upper part has an incline of even greater than 90 degrees. It's not only great to ski in the Porte du Soleil, but also to dine or have a glühwein. There are various great restaurants around the ski resort, many of them even offering you a fantastic view. Also consider heading over to the French side. I always find very eye-catching is Avoriaz. It's a one kind of alpine French village on a steep cliff that is, by the way, also suitable for non-skiers to visit. And then Châtel, especially the cute village at Plaindrance. As having stayed countless of times at the village of Morgin, I can definitely recommend it to explore this beautiful town. It's really great to be in there during day and night, and of course it's very easy to get around. The fourth resort is located in eastern Switzerland in the canton of St. Gallen, and that would be at Flumserberg. This is probably the best ski resort if you just want to go for a one-day trip. Thanks to its central location and easy access from Zurich, St. Gallen and other parts of Switzerland, Flumserberg has been very attractive for decades. Flumserberg has a very unique surrounding as it lays above the Wallensee and just opposite to the iconic peaks called Kurfürsten. Both can be seen from various angles all around the ski resort. I always found the greatest thing about Flumserberg is the fact that despite its small size, it offers so many lifts and slopes that you have more than enough to explore in there. Definitely a must is to take the cabin up to the Maschkenkram, Leist and Brotkram. Really enjoyable were the slopes from the Leist down to the Panuel, a very long trek, then the pine tree forest down to Tannenboden, really magical, and also the witch forest called Hexaweltli. The best way to reach Flumserberg is by train, disembark at Unterterzen and ascend to Tannenboden by cabin. For those who cannot ski, there is even a toboggan track at Prodalp down to Tannenheim. I really recommend you to stay overnight, especially the mornings can be very fascinating when the entire Wallensee is covered by a sea of clouds. A good place to stay is the Hotel Tannenboden. It's very convenient and also comfortable to stay. Just perfect for families. A big thank you goes to Bergbahn und Flumserberg and Heideland Tourism Board for supporting this part. Number 5 is again located in the canton of Valais, and that would be in Saas-Fee. Now, after seeing so many great slopes, breathtaking views and other phenomenal things, is there anything left at where Saas-Fee could still have its own unique selling point? Yes, there is. And Saas-Fee even holds 3 world records in different categories. Saas-Fee is one of the 2 most snowshoe resorts of Switzerland, and it's even open during summer. Saas-Fee is really unique for skiing as the uppermost parts of most of the slopes are on the glacier itself, which is something that I found really exciting. After 3 days of skiing, I though was fascinated the most about something else. This would be the incredible length of the slopes. If you're going to take the cabin up to the Felskrin and then change to the Metro Alpin to access the Mittelallerline, then you may enjoy a 20 to 30 minutes skiing down to the village of Saas-Fee. This I just found, wow, it's really one of the best assets of this ski resort. Very nice are also the slopes at the Plättchen, or then on the other side at Saas-Grund. Now this here is important. About Saas-Grund, you may think it's too sunny for skiing, but you're always going to be above 2000 meters. Thus, it's very snowshoe. Also in there, the uppermost parts of the slopes, they are on the glaciers. A really unique feeling. The ski resort of Saas-Fee and Saastal is not only great for skiers, but actually for everybody. The village is car-free, thus suitable for families. It's very enjoyable to stroll in the alleys and see the many traditional houses. By the way, this part is really cool because there you can take really beautiful photos. There are even trains that are going to take you around the village, making it very convenient for skiers, elders and even minors to get around. As a pedestrian, you may also take the cabin and Metro Alpin up to the trip goal Allerline, in German Mittelallerline, to enjoy a great vista over the Saas Valley and go for lunch at the world's highest located revolving restaurant. Then do not forget to explore the Ice Pavilion, the largest and highest located man-made glacier cave in the entire world. A hotel that I in particular loved, and I'm saying this despite having had a paid collaboration with them, is the Capra. It's a very authentic Swiss chalet hotel at where you can enjoy luxury and hospitality at its best. The hotel offers outstanding service, delicious dining in the restaurant or down in the wine cellar, a large collection of local wines from the canton of Valais, and the spa. That's just something I can't stop to miss. That's just the best of the best. If you need to rent skis or purchase winter sport equipment, then you're definitely right at Caesar Sports. Over there you'll have a large choice among gloves, helmets, skis and basically whatever you need to spend your holidays up there. What's really good, there are 3 outlets up in Saas-Fee and one of them is pretty close to the cabin lift. Really great ski resorts. Now if you want to know them in more detail, then you may want to watch this playlist. Otherwise, if you're just more interested in Switzerland during winter, then you may want to watch this video. So, I'm going to see you in either of these videos.